Welcome, FNUC57 here. Once again, I'm back on Black Ops 6 on the Xbox, and today I got another awesome video for you. So, in this video, we are going to be running through Citadelle des Morts with the Starting Room Challenge. So, this is the second easiest map in the game. If you complete it, you are guaranteed to get a ultra rare gumball raindrops, 15,000 XP, as well as a gobble pack. That does include a profit sharing, flavor hex, explosive flourish, I believe cashback, and rain burps. Overall, relatively easy to do. You can do this in a team or solo, but I think solo will be actually a little bit easier. I'll go over my loadout at the beginning if you want to copy exactly what I'm doing. I will be bringing in the ASG with pretty much the standard setup, including Dragon's Breath rounds. It's going to be personal preference at the end of the day what weapon you want to bring in and how exactly you want to do this. I have a utter crap load of gumballs that I have farmed up over the life cycle of Black Ops 6, and I just normally don't use gumballs in my regular zombies game. So I'm going to use a few gumballs just to take the rough edges, so to speak, off of this challenge. Of course, you could attempt this challenge without using gumballs or make it ridiculously easy by going ahead and popping a Perkaholic and Hidden Power. However, we're not going to go that crazy, but I will consider bringing in, and I would recommend bringing in, a Crate Power or Wall Power depending on the weapon of your choice. If you want to save yourself a headache, you could also use On the House. And just in case things went completely wrong, it's not a bad idea to keep an idle eyes in your pocket or some sort of get out of jail free card. Respin cycle is also something that could help you out a little bit, or potentially a soda fountain. And don't discount dead drop because of the amount of salvage that we need. However, I don't have 99 plus of those, so I won't be using them. But even a couple of rare gumballs like an insta-kill or power keg could help get you out of a sticky situation. Additionally, if you are really worried about skipping through the rounds, you could use timed out to skip a round. Just get you to round 40, because that is the goal here. However, we're not going to be doing that because, well, I just don't want to use them up. Melee doesn't really matter. I recommend decoys and Molotovs. Additionally, we will be using the field upgrade Dark Flare, and as far as augments are concerned, it's pretty much going to be the same as normal as far as what I use. Now, in this case, I do have Dasher on to increase tactical sprint duration, since we're really not going to be taking fall damage anywhere. So I do have that on my stamina up. Quick Revive is obviously Dying Wish. Juggernog, Probiotic, Hardened Plates, Melee Macchiato, Vampiric Extraction with Hidden Impact. Speed Cola is Supercharged and Fast Pitcher. Vulture Aid is Fetid Upgrade and Picky Eater. Death Perception, we are set up here for the shotgun build, so Critical Eye is the important one there. PhD Flopper, I don't think will ever get changed. PhD Slider and Turbologist. Deadshot Daiquiri, again, we're set up for shotgun, so Dead Again and Dead Draw. Double Tap being Double Impact with Double Play, and Elemental Pop being Citrus Focused and Vulnerable Bean, which will make things a lot easier. For an ammo mod, Dead Wire with Lightning Strike and Haste, and for a field upgrade, in this case, this is one of the very few times where I'll actually use Dark Flare, and for that we're going to be using Extension with, personally, for taking out the Horde, I like Broad Beam, but to give yourself a little bit of cover, you might also consider Extra Charge. It is really, at the end of the day, entirely personal preference. There's also a bunch of other weapons that you can use, and one thing that really goes without saying, but isn't said enough, make sure that you have selected a zombies build for every one of your weapons. Even if it is a weapon that you are not going to use necessarily, make sure that you have a zombies build set for it. This way, if you do get it out of the mystery box, at least you have the attachments you want for it. And an option is any assault rifle, especially the AS Val, with the underbarrel drill charge launcher. So just keep that in mind. Also goes without saying, but make sure any weapon that you bring into zombies, if you can put a suppressor on it, make sure that you have a suppressor on it. You will be needing a bunch of salvage, and technically there's no such thing as too much salvage. So if you want to do this solo, it is perfectly achievable. I'll try to make the video as short as possible, but I want to cover as much information as possible. This way you'll be able to win the map easy and hopefully use some of the tips and tricks that I show on other maps that will be more difficult, but of course we'll have a video on those as well. Now, I know I have been offline for a while working my summer job, and then I got sick, so I do apologize that I have not been able to upload videos recently, but we are back on that grind, so let me know what you want to see. Now, I'm not going to go through and walk you through the map. This is Citadelle des Morts. It's a pretty cool map, but we're going to go ahead and toggle on the Rampage Inducer. If you don't feel like playing with the Rampage Inducer on, that is perfectly fine and completely understandable. There are a few things to note. One is the mystery box that is available. 2 is the GS-45s on the wall, and 3 is the Arsenal Station. We also have a 2-plate armor vest located inside the tavern, and in the tavern basement we do have the crafting table. Now, the crafting table is not as important, but it is something to note because most maps do not feature that in the starting area. So obviously we're going to have a little bit of a faster game here with the Rampage Inducer turned on. Zombies will be much faster and their attack speed will be faster. Keep in mind, since we are locked in the starting room, we are looking for those random perk power-up drops. Also, you'll notice I do have Dragon's Breath rounds on. Normally I don't run Dragon's Breath, so this is definitely something new that most folks who've seen me play on stream will notice I don't run them, and I don't run Dragon's Breath for a very good reason. Dragon's Breath will steal your kills. This is something that happens most of the time. We'll go ahead and take advantage of that insta-kill, try to grab some crits. It's very difficult to actually grab crits when using Dragon's Breath. Of course, I do have an insta-kill right here, so that'll make things a little bit easier. Getting a bunch of equipment. You get a bunch of equipment in this mode, so don't be afraid to put that equipment to use. And of course, one of the worst points in any match is when the game just starts. So when this game just starts and all the zombies are jumping around and spawning into the map, they love to spawn in front of where you are going to go. Also, for some reasons, there's been a big problem this season where armor plates and salvage drop on the ground and then you just can't interact with them to pick them up. So it's kind of weird, and that just happened there with that armor, unfortunately. There's also a shock stick right there, so we can come back and use that to our advantage just to get a few extra points. Points are important. They're not the end-all, be-all of everything, though, so bear that in mind. We can go ahead and grab that shock charge, get all of those shocked zombies. So we're getting the extra points for shocking zombies. Would have been better to do that with the double points. Grab my nice, very nice little decoy back there. I can't get that piece of salvage. It is what it is, though. Since I have the Rampage Inducer on, I'm going to go ahead and grab that 2-plate vest, like I said, right there in the tavern. Don't have to buy it right now, but I really don't like hitting the mystery box super early on in the game, simply because more often than not, all I get is the old green rarity weapon, which is not super important right now. But since I've been picking up the salvage, what is super important is going ahead and we'll get green rarity on our ASG here. I got a few points left over. We will need points. Like, points will be something for us. Try to get rid of that turbo zombie. Oh, there's salvage in the fountain. Don't want to leave that there. Now, obviously, there's many different strats to this, and the starting room challenge has been around for a considerably long time. Folks have been doing this since zombies was a thing, just on the old gentleman's agreement of, hey, don't open any doors, let's do a starting room challenge. Now, personally, I've never been an interested party in that because, well, there's really no advantage for me doing it. Alright, here we go. First random perk. Elemental Pop. Alright, I mean, not bad, but I definitely would have preferred something else as my first perk. If you can get PhD Flopper in your first 2 or 3 perks, that does open up a lot of options for you because it allows you to use an explosive weapon with relative safety. Now, I don't plan on using an explosive weapon, hence why I did not bring in a wall power, because we could get the GS45s there off the wall. For anybody that's seen my Tomb video, you'll also note that I used the LR Sniper, which is another weapon that when pack-a-punched becomes explosive. I used that weapon, but for this, I'm going to make my life easier and use the ASG here. We can also use a bunch of equipment. Again, because I don't have PhD Flopper, that's one of the reasons why I did not choose Semtex grenades. We do get a lot of equipment in this mode.
Burnt hair never smelled so reassuring.
So technically you could use Semtex grenades. Still grabbing up all of this salvage. It is huge that we have the arsenal station here. Just try to get the zombies in. You don't really need to have PhD Flopper, but PhD Flopper, especially with that sliding explosion, it gives you yet another way to just wreck zombies. And again, we're going to be dealing with most of those zombies that are the sprinters or the faster zombies first. We got an insta-kill here, which is quite nice. We can make full use of this, annihilating the vast majority of the wave. Maybe we'll get a second random perk. Deadshot Daiquiri. Alright, now I do love Deadshot Daiquiri, don't get me wrong, but again, not what I really wanted in my first 2 perks here. I would have much rather had some nice PhD Flopper and some Juggernog. Like, on this particular map, with this particular starting area, I definitely would have preferred my absolute favorite starting 3 perks would have to be Jug, Quick Revive, and PhD Flopper. If you have those 3, you pretty much have the survivability and maneuverability that you're just not going down. But we do have Deadshot Daiquiri to help out with our shoddy here. Get some ammo back, potentially, on those crit kills. I have to remember that the zombies do get quite a speed boost here going on round 10. So when you have that rampage on here, you really don't have much time to maneuver, and we are super squishy, so just bear that very well in mind. We'll throw a new vest plate in. We'll go ahead and put the dead wire ammo mod on, and I'll take my shotgun to blue rarity. Blue rarity on wave 11, not bad. We are going to have a bit of a challenge coming in here in a moment. Alright, that was a little awkward. Had to pause for a second. Like I said, being sick, I have this really annoying cough that just won't go away. But I didn't want to not post these videos, so. Now, we will be dealing with our first Doppelgast soon. There is a frag grenade on the ground.
Frag thrown.
So I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to launch that at the general direction of the Doppelgast. You might want to hit the mystery box at least once prior to wave 12. Because wave 12 is going to be when you get your first Doppelgast, usually. And as you can tell with the Rampage Inducer on here, these guys are pretty quick. They are coming after me. But, of course, with the zombies being electrocuted, we're getting some additional essence off of that. Grab this nice spicy double points. Turning the Rampage Inducer on allows us to just maximize a little bit more on our potential points. I thought that was a random perk, but it was not. Gotta check where that Doppelgast died at. But I don't see anything good from him. Unfortunate, very unfortunate there. Get some decent damage on that guy. And then we are very much going to have to stick and move. We have armor, but we don't have jugs, so we're not getting that additional mitigation that I love so very much. So with that Doppel close on our heels, I did have to go ahead and use my, well, what I didn't want to use there. I had to go ahead and use my decoy. Because remember, I don't have an Ether Shroud or anything. I'm going to turn off the Rampage Inducer. Not really a super big fan of playing with the Rampage Inducer on. Like, I'll play with it on for a few rounds here or there. You know, get through the beginning matches, the beginning waves a little bit faster. We'll get a few more points. I will grab this nuke. There's no zombies alive, so I might as well just take the free points. I do have a molly here. Not really 100% necessary, but I can go ahead and use that. Once again, we're just going to have really all of these annoying specials that are going to just come at us. So that's where I'll use that molly to get a little bit of damage on it. Maybe a couple of the zombies might die. Semtex grenades are very popular, but considering I don't have PhD Flopper and I can't guarantee that I'll get PhD Flopper, we have to make it to at least round 25 before we can really guarantee what our perks are going to be. So that's the limiting factor here, folks. We are at the mercy of the random perks until round 25. And this is one of the only maps that you can do this on, so. Random perk, number 3. Unfortunately, not really going to help us that much. Good old double tap. Now, I know a lot of folks would be excited about double tap. And it does help with ammo consumption on the shotgun, the way that we have this spec. I mean, right now all we need is death perception, and we'd have all of our perks for our infinite ammo setup. But, yeah, that wasn't what I was hoping for. I was hoping for survivability. Let's get to one zombie left here, because you do kind of want another weapon. Let's see if I can get something here. I'll hit the box real quick. It's wave 14, so we'll maybe get a blue weapon. Oh boy. Ray gun Mark II. I'm using my crate power. Shkaboosh. Let's see how it does. One crate power should do you. Now, we are not spec'd for using a wonder weapon, but I have never got the Ray gun Mark II out of any mystery box, period. Not even on Shattered Veil. So this is the unupgraded version of it. It might not be the best version to get. Kind of sad. Not sure if I should have taken it, but hey, like I said, I've never got it out of any box before, so let's see how it does. You know, let's have a little bit of fun with it. You will, of course, be looking for some weapon from the mystery box. that you can use your crate power, or you'll want to bring in a wall power, because let's be honest, doing this map without any pack-a-punched weapon is, it's something. Now, of course, you could also go in here and do the energy mine strat. Energy mines with turret, especially with a, like AS Val, using the underbarrel grenade launcher, definitely will get the job done. Oh, gotta watch out when you kill a bunch of zombies at once. Then they start respawning from all different points on the map, and that's a very easy way to get yourself in a sticky situation. Obviously, you can use nukes to end the round quickly if you happen to get one. I would not necessarily recommend it, simply because it's not a habit that you want to get into. The more zombies you kill, the more chances for power-ups you have. But we can go ahead and grab that nuke once the round is over. Now, I wanted to save my decoy for this, but alas, that plan, it did not work. Oh, I got a tactical diffusion. Very nice. So wave 16, this is, well, maybe not.
Tear them to pieces.
Okay. We'll just get rid of that. Very, very strange there. Okay. Not entirely sure what's going on with the game. I'm having a very different outcome than normal here. Okay, whatever. Generally speaking, you get your first amalgam on wave 16, and that's usually where you want to save your decoy, but for whatever reason, wave 16 is a bug wave for me. So, not sure why, but okay.
Max ammo.
And the amalgam should come from right there. Yep, that's the amalgam spawning in. Here comes the amalgam. And just in case you don't have the ray gun Mark II, normally you'll throw a decoy around, try to get these zombies grouped up. I like to put a little bit of fire damage on this pesky amalgam just to kind of start, and then we are going to focus on dark flaring this guy. Dark flare should do most of the damage to him. This is going to be the hardest amalgam that we have to fight, because dark flare's damage scales with the round that we're on. So the higher the round, the, well, more damage it's going to do.
Insta-kill.
Do we get anything from the amalgam? Nope. If you're lucky, you'll get some sort of skill streak or score streak, kill streak, whatever you want to call it. You'll usually get something from the amalgam if you're lucky. Now, assuming that you did not have to spend any salvage at all on, like, a self-revive or whatnot, then you will probably have, by this point, enough salvage to go ahead and upgrade your shotgun to purple rarity, or whatever your primary weapon is. We're going to have to kind of slide and tack, sprint, zig and zag and weave here a bit. We can get a little bit of a momentary breather when we jump over vehicles. We can also get a little bit of a breather there when we, you know, kind of turn and proc our dead wire, which I'm going to be activating dead wire quite a bit due to the fact that I have elemental pop. And we'll just let our incendiary rounds do most of the work for us there. Gonna lose pretty much the same amount of armor that I got. Try not to take damage from the death blast. Hope that that guy dropped us something that we'll be able to use. A double points. Alright, alright. Let's see what we're working with. Oh, mutant injection. Beautiful. Beautiful. The luck this game.
Double points.
Well, I can't complain about that. A mutant injector is basically a free round completion. Right there. It's also a good get out of jail free card. So is the chopper gunner and the Hellstorm missile. That was not my best use of a double points. Would be nice if we could further pack a punch. Let's see what this Ray Gun Mark II does. Oh, wow. Ray Gun Mark II just melted that Doppelgast. Okay, okay. I'm going to try not to rely on the Ray Gun Mark II here, but dang, it is tempting to use it. Obviously, remember, I got super lucky, so throw a comment up if you're watching the video. Let me know what weapon you want to get from the mystery box. Let me know what you think of that. Pulling the Ray Gun Mark II. Was it the play to do, or would we have been better off waiting for a different weapon? I don't know. Nice little bonus points here. Now, I know for a fact that something else score streak-wise dropped from that Doppel. I think there's one. Oh, it's a sentry gun. Alright, alright. That'll come in handy here. Let's go ahead and we don't really need to use the sentry gun, but it's very hard to place a sentry gun during the wave. So we'll just go ahead and throw that down. Similar with if you get a C4, we can just go ahead and throw that C4 down there. I'll put it where the zombies like to at least spawn specials and have the specials come in. Detonate that. Oh, it didn't do much damage to the Doppel. I might have detonated that slightly early. Always try to eliminate the Doppelgasts first. I'm just letting the sentry gun get some kills here. Basically, you know, trying to give you guys a little bit of an idea what you have to expect if you're doing this and you don't get lucky. You can come in here to the tavern, give yourself a little bit of a break. Random perk, Vulture Aid. Alright. Well, that's my 4 starting perks here. Not what I wanted, but we'll see if we can get it completed. I've been having good luck with drops and bad luck with perks, which is generally the way that it goes. You don't get good luck with everything across the board. We do have a Semtex, though. And I do have a whole bunch of salvage. Sadly, my sentry gun timed out. They usually only last like 1 wave, maybe 2. We've got a Doppel coming in again. Skadoosh. Wasn't the best placement for that Semtex grenade, but it did alright. I got a little damage on the Doppel. This is where I always get myself in a sticky situation. I am usually very aggressive, so I like to give myself a lot of survivability, as much survivability as I potentially can, which means I am always rocking my first 2 perks being Quick Revive and Juggernog. Alas, I don't have those right now, so yeah, we are going to have to actually think about what we do here. It's going to be time to get some ammunition, so yeah, we'll just get that Deadwire proc there, buy that ammo. There is a nuke. There is a nuke in play, so I'm going to try to finish out this round. As you can see, we are killing zombies here. It's wave 21. You know what? I'm gonna grab it. I wanted to hear that old kaboom. Not that I needed to, but, you know, I wanted to. We're doing alright here. There is a smoke grenade right here, so if we wanted, we could give ourselves a momentary breather at the start of the game, the start of this round. We'll just pre-toss that smoke, so they won't initially see me. Then again, not super effective. Bug waves are something else. Again, we're using the dead wire ammo mod, not only because it gives us a damage bonus against the amalgams, but mostly due to the fact that that lightning bolt strike is more than enough to wipe out these bugs. The only good bug is a dead bug. Oh, wait. I'm playing the wrong game for that? My bad.
Sending incendiary.
Vulture Aid already coming in clutch, paying off here. Now we're going to have to deal with our second amalgam. He typically spawns in a little bit late. This should be relatively easy to deal with. We'll get him grouped up, kind of give a bit of a spin here, and then we are just going to unload on him with this Dark Flare. That Dark Flare was enough to finish off the Doppel and almost kill this amalgam here. Oh no, we're gonna get grabbed by him. Oh no, bad move right there, boys. Bad move. We gotta get out of here. Don't go into the tavern while being chased by a amalgam. That was dangerous. As you see, we took a massive, absolutely massive amount of damage from this. We're gonna... This might be game. Yeah, it is. While we're down, we can use this opportunity to use our ray gun. If you have the ray gun, we can use that because you get 150 rounds of ammo. Even if it had no ammo, you can use that while you are down. So we took out some of these zombies without losing anything other than Vulture Aid. So yeah, that's something. There's a full power on the ground. I'm going to go ahead and use it to my advantage. This amalgam got a lot of his health back from eating us. I can't believe that. That was my fault though, boys. That was entirely a avoidable death. I should have avoided that. I had a mutant injector and I did have a decoy that I could have tossed, but I kind of panicked on that one and just, you know, rookie mistake. It's very early in the morning when I'm doing this. I'm a little tired. We're just not playing to the best of our ability there, which is very unfortunate, but it happens. So you know what? Safety's sake, we're going to come down here. We're going to craft another self-revive. I know I spent salvage that could have been used to upgrade my weapon. Not the best course of action. There's a free decoy on the ground, so remnants left over from my nice spicy Vulture Aid. Vulture Aid, you will be missed. I really don't like running this way, but we'll switch up our circle. Just starting to pile on the incendiary damage. It's very easy to get caught on that corner, which is why I don't like running this way. Oh no, I think that car's gonna explode. Alright, let's not be anywhere near that car when it explodes. A nice bit of max armor. I only have to survive one more wave. And as long as I don't make any rookie mistakes, that should be relatively doable.
Shock charge going out.
I'm going to plant this shock charge right at my feet. Shock charges are effective against doppels. I'm not sure if they're effective against amalgams. I think they are. So we can buy ourselves a little bit of time here, running the horde that we had already grouped up around. Oh, gotta just get one zombie left, folks. That's all we need to do. If we can do this, the rest of the game is easy, relatively speaking. I mean, it's sort of an attrition battle, but we got this. I should have done this with 0 downs, though, to be honest. I mean, I have the ray gun Mark II here, and just look at how fast that shreds. Packed ray gun Mark II is kind of unfair. I think that was a good call to get that from the box. Another random perk. It's perk number 5. Alright, I got quick revive this time. So that's one of the perks that I wanted. Would have been nice to have that a little bit earlier on here. Procced a random ammo mod and actually turned the doppel. That's kind of funny to see that. We'll let our unexpected ally do some good for us here. Now, I do want to get rid of this guy. Unfortunately, when you brain rot a doppel like that, it doesn't really help. I mean, it does kill things for you, sure, but it's not all that great. Still got 3k salvage left, so I could hit the box again, but I am happy with what I have at the moment. Get all this armor, all this lovely salvage. We need to keep one zombie alive. Just one. Oh, there's salvage in the fountain. Let's go. I want a legendary rarity weapon. Of course, you could just save your salvage. But we have our perk machine, so we're buying Jug, we're buying Speed Cola, we're buying Death Perception, we're buying Vulture Aid, we're buying our PhD Flopper, a little bit of stamina up. You know what? We're even going to take that nice spicy melee macchiato. We're going for that perkaholic across the board there. We'll kill that guy. We'll pay 5,000 points to refill our ammo, or not ammo, sorry, armor. Maybe I should refill my ammo, considering that it is only 250 points to refill your ammo. Like I said, we need points, but other than spending them on the mystery box, once you get round 25, once you finally reach that, you can go ahead and spend your points on the Wonder Fizz, because this is one map where the Wonder Fizz actually spawns in the starting location. So since it's in the starting room, all we have to do is make it to round 25. We also don't have any shock mimics. So, unlike the tomb where we had to deal with shock mimics and amalgams, 2 enemies that could both grab us, we're having a fairly easy time on this map, as long as you don't make any rookie mistakes like I did with just getting a little overzealous when it comes to being in close proximity to an amalgam. Definitely don't want to do that. You also don't want to allow enemies the opportunity to evolve. The whole evolving feature is something I don't particularly like, so you don't want them to have the opportunity to evolve. In other words, if you see a parasite, that parasite should be the first thing that you kill. Absolutely. Just get it out of the way. As you can see here with our ammo mods going off, that dead wire stun plus area of effect here on the zombies, plus our napalm burst. We are cooking it here. I got an extra decoy. What's this? What's this? A chopper gunner, boys? Alright. You know we simply just cannot have a free chopper gunner and not use it in the video. I hardly ever get what I want as a score streak. So we are totally going to use this. Another gumball spin while we were at it. A who's keeping score. That is awesome. Oh, it's a bug wave. Okay. Alright. Alright, I'm going to show you guys another trick that you can use. There's an extra decoy on the ground. So I'm going to let a bunch of zombies spawn in. A bunch of these bugs. Just get them all built up like that. And then we're going to shoot them. We're going to activate that dead wire. And we're just going to wipe out almost the entire wave with a single activation of dead wire. That was a good activation of dead wire right there. Remember, some of these tips and tricks and stuff, if you didn't already know them, you can put them to use in your standard zombies games. Like, I want to keep this score streak, so I'm going to go ahead and swap it for my mutant injector. Pick that one back up. This way the mutant injector will not disappear. I do need an armor plate, though. Also, I think it's like round 26 or so that the GS45s on the wall go to your normal purple rarity. I'm going to use this chopper gunner. Hopefully we can take out the amalgam. I tossed down a decoy prior to activating the chopper gunner. There is some sort of power-up. There is definitely some sort of power-up there on the field, though, of course, and it is probably a random perk, more than likely, knowing my luck. So this was probably the worst timed chopper gunner ever. Oh, no, it's a double points. It's alright. We're going to put down another decoy so that I can hopefully grab this mutant injector. Don't want to lose it, after all. Not after all that work. Oh, there is an amalgam. I was not able to gun him down with the chopper gunner. So once again, we're going to use our dark flare and just melt that guy. He was at full health, but he ain't at full health anymore, that's for sure. Now we're getting all those rounds back for the shotgun, so we can just keep firing. Keep setting them on fire with Dragon's Breath. Keep proccing that dead wire. Mollies are also really good, and I need to start using them more. That, you know, I have Vulture Aid back, so I'm getting a lot of equipment here. You could probably throw the Rampage Inducer on if you really wanted to at this point. Just, you know, because. I don't want to, though. I'm just going to get that Molly. Whoo! Look at us go! Gotta love that speed. Can't touch me, zombies. Especially when you get that speed boost from killing an enemy. So that's something that you can do. You got zombies chasing you, and you toss down that Molly. Chances are, not only is it going to weaken a bunch of zombies, but it's probably going to get you a kill or two. I've seen another decoy, so I'm just going to toss that decoy out. Start lighting them on fire here. Oh, gotta pay attention for the ones that you kill respawning behind you, though. That's a nuke. We could grab it. I mean, I don't particularly need points, but yeah, I'm just never a fan of nukes, really.
My middle name. Send a decoy.
Now you can see the shotgun's fallen off a bit in damage without Pack-a-Punch here. This is where if I had an underbarrel grenade launcher, the underbarrel grenade launcher would definitely be outputting more damage. You'll notice that we're going to get a bunch of zombie kills there off of that dead wire activation. You can hear a little tink, tink, tink noise every time it procs and I get a round added to my magazine. Thankfully, the doppelgas don't heal.
Max armor.
Whoa, look at us go. That hot foot perk coming in handy right here. Just kind of burning time down for our ammo mods to come off a cooldown. Or, you know, we could just switch to the ray gun Mark II and just delete that guy. I have to remember I have that ray gun Mark II, and it is honestly quite nice. Even though we're not actually using it for the challenge. I feel a little bit bad that I used a crate power. Not really. Remember, if you want to throw a decoy where you will be throwing a molly, then throw the decoy after you throw the molly. This way, the molly will not destroy your decoy. It's a good way to, you know, use extra equipment that you have. Thermo grenades are also super, super good. I think they got a tiny bit of a nerf, which they sort of needed to bring them in line with other equipment. That's a concussion. That's really not going to help us, but I'm just going to get this out of the way. It's free points. Looking for that thermo. I don't see the thermo. Oh well.
Just clearing out the riffraff.
Like, you really don't even need to go for a pack-a-punched weapon. And I mean, if you get lucky enough like this with the ray gun Mark II, I mean, we'll just straight up delete that doppelgas. Like, we don't even have to worry about them. There's a full power on the field. So another pro tip a lot of folks don't know: if you have a full power on the field, activate your field upgrade. You can pick up the field full power. You can pick that up during the use of your full or whatever field upgrade you have, and immediately upon your field upgrade ending, you're going to have another field upgrade charge ready. So it's a pretty awesome way to do it. There is another nuke. Why this game wants to give me nukes, I have no idea right now. But it definitely wants to give me nukes. Oh, we have enough salvage. Look at me not paying attention over here. We have enough salvage to go to legendary rarity here. I have a decoy. I have lots of decoys. Okay, yeah. You know what? I'm going to show you some of the other equipment. So, first off, let's use one of those decoys, and then I will pick up the nice, very nice impact grenade, and skadoosh! Alright, impact grenade. Let's see, how many kills is it going to give us? Got a lot of enemy distract, giving us extra points. And that impact grenade... Well, honestly, that impact grenade did not kill that many zombies. And really, you guys should not be surprised. Impact grenades are not that great. They're great for getting, like, a few kills with equipment in Grief or whatnot, but they cost too much to keep crafting, and they just don't have that big of a blast radius, so I don't really recommend using them. If I can get a thermo grenade to drop, I'll show you what that looks like. Just firing into the horde.
Sending incendiary.
Every time I come around the bend and I see another molly on the ground, we're gonna just toss a molly into the group here. Random perk! Sadly, random perks don't give you anything when you have all the perks, but it just goes to show you, you know, you can keep this up easily. If it wasn't for me making that one rookie mistake, we'd be at 0 downs right now. Alright, what do we got? Another molly? Yep, don't mind if I do. Mollies are also super effective against vermin, so something to keep in mind. We have yet another molly. I have no ammo. Oh, we killed one, so now we have ammo. I think the molly got him, to be honest. It's a bit of a battle of attrition, you know. You're not gonna kill him super fast, but we have another. Oh, dude, that is amazing. We're just gonna use the ray gun to kill this guy real quick. Bam, boom, done. Took a little damage from him. Doesn't matter. We'll get our ammo. There is yet another mutant injector, free mutant injector. Okay, we just cannot do that. We absolutely have to have this. And it's a bug wave. Oh, phooey pooey.
Tear them to pieces.
We'll get this done quick. I don't want that mutant injector to disappear. I'm going to use this to group up some bugs. Hopefully we'll proc a lightning strike. Nope, doesn't look like we're going to proc a lightning strike. That's okay. We'll use the molly. That molly's just going to wreck absolutely all of those vermin. And then our lightning bolt will come in and finish off the rest of them. Remember what I mentioned earlier about with your points, you could refill your armor. It doesn't refill your actual armor like reserves, but it refills your armor bar, and since we don't have much to do with our points, we can very easily do that. This mutant injector is still here on the ground, and I do have enough salvage to buy another mutant injector. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the next wave down here. Oh, perfect. We have an amalgam. We're going to let the zombies spawn in a bit. Just, you know, let them get in here on us, and then we're going to pop our mutant injector. This is a very well-known strategy, but just in case folks aren't aware of it, you can very easily clear an entire wave, especially with the Rampage Inducer on, but definitely without the Rampage Inducer. You can clear an entire wave by coming down here into the tavern basement and then just annihilating everything with a mutant injector. So if you see a free mutant injector on the ground, this is what you want to do, folks. You want to come down here to where the crafting bench is, and you just want to annihilate everything. Just bam, 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 punch it in the face, and it is basically, even on high rounds, it is basically a 1 mutant injector per round clear. Now, granted, mutant injectors do cost quite a bit to make, So you're going to have to save up a lot of salvage if you want to keep using them. They cost 2,500, but that is a high round strat that a lot of folks use for Citadelle des Morts. Of course, we're getting up here into the 30s, so things are going to be getting a little bit spicier here. We got a lot of doppels around on us. I'm going to do it. I'm going to Dark Flare these guys up. Dark Flare is super, super effective at dealing with the specials. We're going to get stuck a little bit on the front of that car. Definitely something that you have to keep in mind.
Max armor.
This car is a little bit buggy. From the sides, you can mantle over it without an issue, but from the front, you cannot for whatever weird, wacky reason. Now that I have Legendary Rarity, that's going to give our shotgun more damage. Now, obviously, in whatever game you guys are playing, make sure that you use everything to your advantage. Like, if you have it, use it. But I just don't want folks to think that I'm 100% relying on this ray gun Mark II. I just want to show, though, because I have yet to play with it, I wanted to show exactly how well it did. And you know what, we probably should not have even relied on it, simply because I lost my quick revive there. That ray gun Mark II actually it trolled me. I got a little overzealous with it, and I should not have. I told you guys, I'm more of a danger to myself than the zombies are, and that's really what this comes down to, is how patient are you? Can you be patient enough to let your equipment do the work? Can you be patient enough to wait for trap cooldowns? Can you avoid the zombies, or are you going to get a little overzealous? Are you going to make those mistakes and maybe just, you know, play a little too aggressively? Yeah, I'm totally going to do that. So, again, I wanted to have fun with it. I mean, I haven't used the weapon except on Shattered Veil, obviously, but even then, I had to build the free one. I never actually got one from the mystery box, even using Wonder Bar. I was always incredibly unlucky on that front. We got a bunch of kills here. Oh, look at all those extra decoys. I got 2 extra decoys. Perfection. Just going to toss one out like that. Toss the second one. Let everything get grouped up. You can also clamber on top of that white van. Or, I mean, at one time it was a white van. This way we can let the zombies spawn in a bit. You do want to eliminate parasites whenever you see a parasite spawn in. If parasites are left alive long enough, they will eventually turn into doppelgas, and we really don't want that. Also, when the zombies are stunned, especially like the doppelgas, when they're stunned, you can go ahead and hit them with that molly just to, you know, start stacking some extra burn damage on them. Normally I use, I use something that'll give me a bit of a get out of jail free card, but we don't have that right now for a field upgrade. I would say bring in whatever field upgrade you are the most comfortable with. I probably should have done that. We would have had a little bit of an easier time here, since I'm very used to using Ether Shroud and Frenzy Guard. I don't normally ever use Dark Flare. I can't get myself out of a really dangerous, sticky situation with Dark Flare. I mean, you can, kind of, sort of, but it's just not as easy to do. This is just to show you can still kill stuff. This is a non-pack-a-punched weapon. Yes, it is at legendary rarity. I'm not really landing crits, though, so we're not going to be gunning them down as fast as something else that was at legendary rarity that we were landing crits with. But we're still dealing a nice chunk of damage just because of our ammo mod and, of course, Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath is coming in there, getting most of those kills, doing most of the damage for us. Last couple zombies alive. Make sure you have everything that you need. There's a hand cannon. I definitely don't want to pick that up. What are we doing? Match time. 55 minutes. I figured it would take about an hour to do this. If you left the Rampage Inducer on the entire time, you'd probably do it in half an hour.
Sending incendiary.
I mean, yeah, sure, half an hour is a lot more impressive, but, well, I would have been a little faster if I didn't make a couple of rookie mistakes. Definitely, once you get PhD, use it to your advantage. Use that sliding ability. When we get all of these pesky doppels, you know, use that. I mean, there's no reason not to. Now, of course, at this point, like, we're not really doing that much damage with our actual shotgun. Most of our damage is coming from the Dragon's Breath and from the Deadwire ammo mod activations. Also from our mollies here. You can grab combat axes and whatnot. We'll just group these guys up. Well, there's an LDBR. Okay. We can use that on the next round easily. Where did that LDBR go? Don't tell me it despawned already. Huh. Okay, well, guess we won't be using that. That's unfortunate.
Tear them to pieces.
Sometimes the score streaks stay on the ground for a long time, and other times they disappear very quickly. If you have the decoys, definitely use them. If you have the mollies, feel free to use them as well. Like I said, they are very effective against the vermin. You can even hit parasites with the molly splash.
Max ammo.
I almost have my dark flare ready again. Is there a Semtex here? Yes, there is. Alright, so I'll use that decoy. Give you an idea why Semtex is better. Shkadoosh! Look at all those. Look at all those beautiful guys. Alright, we're getting ourselves in a bit of a sticky situation there. I got stuck on a crawler. That is why I don't like using Semtex grenades. Now, yes, Semtex grenades are better than impact grenades. They will kill more enemies, but that is why we don't like using them. That Semtex grenade created a crawler. I did not quite see the crawler, and I was getting stuck on the crawler, forcing myself, since I did not have Frenzied Guard or Ether Shroud as a field upgrade, to go ahead and pop my Mutant Injector to avoid going down again. So, yeah. Unfortunate, but that is just one of those things that can very easily happen to you. And if it does happen to you, you need to be aware of it. We'll spend some points to go ahead and get our armor back. And I got plenty of salvage. By this point, if you're not concerned about going super high rounds, which sadly you only can quit the game or keep going till you eventually die. So yeah, if like wave 39 you want to just pop a Mutant Injector, you should have more than enough salvage and you should be able to clear it with the Mutant Injector. So just an option for you. We have this Ray Gun Mark II that I really wanted to see how it would do on wave 39. So I'm going to, instead of trying to clear it with a Mutant Injector, because obviously I've already shown that that is possible, and I've shown how to do it. Now see, I didn't follow my own advice. I did not delete those parasites from existence. So by not doing that, one of the parasites, actually multiple parasites, have gone and possessed regular zombies. And in doing so, they've turned themselves into doppelgasts. I guess that's alright if you're farming them for camo challenges or maybe farming them for score streaks. But it definitely adds more of a threat to the wave, so I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, I think this Ray Gun Mark II would have been more helpful if I used it early on. It's definitely putting the hurt on those doppels, though. Surprisingly, though, I think I would rather use my Dark Flare now that I have that off of cooldown.
Max armor.
Yeah, honestly, not sure if this Ray Gun Mark II was the way to go. Like, initially, absolutely, it was fun to play with. It did a lot of damage, but we're just not really getting the damage for it right now. And then, of course, the downside to it being that if we come over here to buy ammo for it, it costs 10,000 to buy ammo for a wonder weapon that's pack-a-punched. Really, though, at the end of the day, you can use whatever weapon you want. Like, you don't have to grab anything. As you've seen, I went through with the ASG primarily, doing all the killing. So yeah, I got the Ray Gun Mark II, but my ASG non-packed at legendary rarity is still killing zombies. Not very effectively, but we're still doing it. There's wave 40. We'll start to have our gobbles pop up. There's our big gobble spin. Well, apparently we spun a regular gobble in the process there. Now we'll get our wave completion gobbles, though. So it starts off with like the basic ones, your cashback, flavor hacks. There's our explosive flourish, rain burps, and we should get the pop-up any minute now. There we go. Sizzle, sizzle. Of course, sadly, we can't really do anything else at this point. So we can either continue to just stay in the game and see what round count we can get to, which there's really not much of a point in doing that. I mean, at this point it would basically be just run around, build salvage, and then in the later rounds just save up all of your salvage and come down here and use a mutant injector. So that would be the super high strat. Now we either feed ourselves to the zombies, or since we got the old round change music, we just unceremoniously hit the quit button. Sadly, we don't have any other option on that. I am going to feed myself to the zombies, though, for the ending, just because I want the after action report. And if you quit the game, you don't get an after action report. So, I know it counts as a death, but it is what it is. We'll feed the zombies. Remember, folks, do not feed the zombies. And of course I have a self-revive, so yeah. Minor technicality there. We can get this done real easy, though. Oh, just shot to death by doppelgasts. No, not the doppels. Of course, it said a regular zombie killed me, which is odd, because, yeah, I thought it would be a doppel. Anyways, you can do it either way. It was 1 hour and 6 minutes, which wasn't really a bad game time. Probably took me about 1 hour and 3 minutes to do the actual 40 waves. And then, of course, I had to kill myself. So, by doing this, we get our completion. You don't have to kill yourself. You can just hit leave game. But you will not get an after action report. I like having the after action report there just so that you guys can see everything that you got. Make sure that in your rewards panel you have the rewards actually there shown. That's the raindrops guaranteed ultra rare gumball, the gobble gum pack, the 15,000 XP, even though I can't do anything with that since I'm prestige legend, and then the regular gobbles that we spun during the game, which was tactical diffusion, who's keeping score, and a respin cycle. Obviously, not bad at all, and I did the vast majority of that work with simply the ASG. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Do me a huge favor if you did, smash those like and subscribe buttons. This way you never miss out on another video. Help the channel reach the 100,000 subscriber mark, and I hope to see you all very soon in the next video. Till then, my brothers and sisters, thy legion, stay frosty.